Hey all, I'm starting a little bit early today. This is Andrew Sean Greer and welcome to 10 Minutes with Andrew Sean Greer. I'm having a little cocktail. It's White Claw and a cherry tomato. I mean, I don't have a lot of garnishes here, so I'm doing what I can. In a few minutes, we're going to be joined by my mother. Hi Enrico, hi Eve. Who is Dr. Sandra Greer, former provost of Mills College, and now working on a book in the chemistry of cooking, which I think will be out soon. She's putting her finishing touches. So we'll see her here. Hey, Moses. In the meantime, last time we learned about how to camouflage yourself at home, which I hope you've been doing to hide from your novels and loved ones and parents and pets and yourselves. This week, we're gonna talk about what's in my fridge and get some advice on my mom about what the hell to do with it this week. I wore a tuxedo because you can never be too overdressed for your mother, and it's basically Mother's Day. So I won't be able to be with her on this Mother's Day, but at least I'll get to bother her with something like this. She's never been on Instagram before. So let's see if we can make it happen. I don't think she's joined yet. Let's see. Looking through. Not yet. Let's see if it happens. Anyway, this is my refrigerator. You can see above the salad spinner and the big spaghetti pot. It's mostly got, well, my word, it has White Claw and champagne, as yours should. And mostly a lot of sort of half-assed salad dressings that are still in their containers, and some 4 dozen eggs that I haven't checked the date on very recently. So we'll see what my mother can do with that. Mostly my question, I think, is going to be about zucchini. All right, let's see. Let's see if she's on. All right, Mom. Not. Hi, Deborah Lowe. I've known Deborah since I was in first grade. Eve wants to know, Eve is my friend since I was 12 who lives upstairs, who I just saw moments ago on the back deck. What happened to the frittata? I still have the eggs. I mean, a frittata is just like 4 eggs. It doesn't really, my spaghetti pot looks precarious. It's because I put it up there myself, and you can see, like, I'm tall, but I can just kind of pop it back there, and that's good enough. Does my mom really know how to use Instagram? Well, we did a test this morning. The trick is she has to join, All right, I'm going to pause this for a moment and text her. All right, I'm back. We'll see if it worked. Challah bread pudding, does it use a lot of eggs? I'm just feeling like I'll make another frittata. I've made carbonara, I've done all the egg stuff, and they keep coming because my friend Laureen of West Coast Catering transformed her catering company into like a box that you can pick up, and that kind of thing. Hi, everybody. 12 eggs for bread pudding? But then what? Okay. All right, let's see. I just texted her. Otherwise, I'm just going to introduce you to the rest of my fridge until I see her. Oh, wait, she's there. I just saw her. Request. Waiting for S. Greer, connecting. Oh, Mom!
Hello.
Hi there.
I thought I was supposed to be at AS Greer.
That's what I figured. That's why I texted you. No worries.
Yeah. Okay.
We've got 7 more minutes.
So what are we doing here?
Oh, okay. Say hi to everybody. Eve is there.
Hello.
People
hello,
you know.
Hello.
Deborah Lowe is watching.
Oh, hi, Debbie.
But I need your advice on my fridge. And I think the first thing to talk about is the elephant in the fridge.
Your beautiful brined chicken.
It's a brined chicken.
Yes. And you must do something that now that you've gone all the work of getting the salt and the water into that chicken,
And some sugar, I think. Is
some
that
sugar.
necessary?
No.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Well, it doesn't do anything for the brining, and you probably used table sugar, which doesn't help you when you want to brown it.
Oh, what helps it?
Well, table sugar is not what's called a reducing sugar. You would do better if you use something like honey in there instead of table sugar.
Oh, well. Okay,
For
so
the
but
mayor.
why did I brine it? And what do I do now to make it good?
Okay, you brined it in order to add salt and moisture. The salt diffuses in. Let me just say, Mother Nature likes to even out concentrations. So when you put salt on the surface, the salt says to itself, there's no salt inside this chicken. And it goes in there to even out the concentration. But when it gets in there, it attacks the proteins and carbohydrates and starts to cook them. And when they start to cook, they absorb the water around them. And then the water says, oh, there needs to be more water in that chicken to even out the concentration. So then the water goes in. The first is by diffusion. The second is called osmosis. We won't bore people with any more of that.
Sounds like socialism. Yeah.
Yeah, well, but you got water and you got moisture into your chicken. And now what you want to do is, I think a nicely brined chicken like that will roast so beautifully. But you know to dry the outside of it when you get it out, as dry as possible.
Why?
Because it will not brown as you cook it, as long as it has water on it. The water keeps the temperature from getting any hotter than the boiling point of water, which is 212 Fahrenheit. And you need to get it 20 or 30 degrees hotter than that for it to brown. So you need to dry it off very nicely.
Dry it off.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know.
Salt and pepper it again or not at all?
Pepper. I'm not a big believer in pepper. It doesn't go anywhere. It just sits there on the surface. If you want pepper, add it after you're all done cooking.
All right.
But, yeah.
High heat, low heat, long time, short time?
Anyway will work. There's no magic bullet. You can do it slow and long or short and sweet. I would say 385 it's a big chicken. That's going to be at least an hour.
So this is like 3.5 pounds.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just a lot of leg.
Maybe you can go to 425 with it. It won't hurt.
Wow.
It.
What if I rub it all over with baking soda?
It would brown a little better because that makes it alkaline, and alkaline improves the Maillard reaction.
So I don't want to like squeeze lemon on it before I try to brown it.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay.
The lemon inhibits the browning. Anything acidic inhibits the browning.
Okay, I have another question for you. We've got 3 minutes.
Yeah.
This is a crucial question. Oh, this goddamn zucchini. Why do it just keeps arriving?
Yes, well, all that zucchini makes me think of ratatouille. So all you're missing is peppers, onions, eggplant, and garlic.
I don't have eggplant.
I
have peppers.
Peppers you can do. Nobody ever misses the eggplant. But do you have any tomato?
Yeah, I have these. That was my other question. I actually have a bunch of grape tomatoes that for some reason I haven't been using.
You know what? Julia would tell you cook each part separately and then combine them and put them in the oven for an hour. It's 2020. We do sheet pan ratatouille. So you cut everything up, including the tomatoes, toss it with a little olive oil, and put it in the oven for 20 minutes. Zucchini, onions, garlic, peppers.
What about roast chicken and ratatouille?
Exactly. Perfect. You can.
But can I roast them at the same time?
You can, but you don't. Of course, the vegetables only take about 20 minutes.
Oh, this sounds okay. That's going to be my plan. What do I do? You may not know this. I've had this delicata squash here. You may have given it to me when I was a child. Do you know what to do with it?
Well, the thing is, you need it like a chainsaw to open the thing. That's dangerous, and I don't know if you're up for that. Take it to the hardware store, ask them to crack it open for you. And then you have to get the outside off and cut it into cubes. You could throw it in there and roast it along with everything else once you cut it up into cubes.
Oh, Well, that's an idea. All right, we only have
Totally.
a little bit left, and then our video will cut out. Any final chemistry advice for people at home?
No.
Well, tell us the title of your book.
Well, my new book, which is not even close to being done, will be called Chem for Cooks, which is chemistry as applied to cooking, but written in such a way that anybody can understand it. And I hope will enjoy reading it and learn enough to become a better cook, in addition to absorbing some chemistry.
That sounds great. I can't wait to read it. We've learned so much today. Thank you, Mom, for joining 10 Minutes with Andrew Sean
Well,
Greer.
7 minutes anyway.
And
Sorry,
happy Mother's
late. I
Day.
misunderstood my instructions.
No,
Okay.
I was vamping.
Okay.
All right. I'll
All
talk
right,
to you
darling.
tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Mom. And bye, everybody.